Hi, YouTube family. It's Daughter of the Most High. I have a few things to share with you tonight. This video should be very short unless God puts something on my heart, which He has before, but I'm not expecting that tonight. So I just wanted to share about the Facebook group that I formed 3 weeks ago to study the book of Revelation and follow the teaching of Tom Bradford. And his YouTube channel is Torah class, and it's actually really good. If you want to check out this teaching, go to his channel and you'll see that he does studies on several books of the Bible, which is awesome. And we are in the book of Revelation, and look under playlists for that. And all of the teachings will be listed under the playlist feature so that you can find them all. And so he's actually a very good and thorough teacher of the word and does a great job. So I'm enjoying it. The group appears to be quite small. We had 15 takers in the beginning, and it seems like there's about 5 of us that have continued on. And this is the start of week 4. Just posted lesson 7 last night. And it doesn't surprise me because I know how people are. I know how I am. I have had the desire to study certain things with regarding the end times in the past few years, especially now that the Lord has awakened me to the times. And I will start something and not finish it or not even start it. It is so easy to do that. So I see that there's some people in the group that agreed to be in there. They're still members of the group, and they post nothing. They don't comment on anything. So it looks like they kind of just dropped off. And isn't that how we are if we don't have accountability? We need to have that support and accountability to stay with things. So that's why I formed the group. So to keep myself accountable, to keep myself doing the studies, and I enjoy it. I believe that, anybody would enjoy the study, but they get busy with other things. And when again, as I said this before, when I did the teaching on, or not a teaching really, but just the video that said, it is time. Yeah. And I just felt that so strong in my spirit. It's time. Maybe there's times, in the past decades that we've been able to relax, not on our Christian walk, but maybe just doing the extra study, Bible study, that kind of thing. And not that we should do that, but it's maybe not as pertinent or urgent at that particular time. And so when I did that video, I felt the urgency of God on the inside of me that said, it's time. I mean, we're at the door kind of thing. So that's why I posted that video. That's why I formed the group, and I'm going to stay with it. And if I'm the only one that's doing the teachings by the end, I've just committed to it. I'm going to see it out. So, or see it through. That sounds better. So that's my plan. I encourage you to check out the teachings. Again, it's Torah class, Tom Bradford. Go to playlist, look up the book of Revelation. It actually is really good. So I encourage you to do that. If you feel like that's where the Lord has you right now, this is a great way to do it. So the other thing that I want to share is that twice, my screen or my monitor is right here, and it changes my lighting when it goes into sleep mode. In the past, like probably 10 days, if that, 7 to 10 days, I did not write the dreams down, but I had 2 of the same dream. And the dream is very short, but there's a message in it. And I'm someone that really doesn't remember dreams. Sometimes I even wonder if I dream very often because I just don't recall dreams. But I do have God dreams. So the God dreams are the ones that they're kind of seared into my memory. So I will share with you what these two dreams, very similar, were. And then we'll talk about it for a minute, okay? So the first dream was me walking into my local grocery store, which is a Cub Foods. And I walk in there and there's something set up to stop people from entering the store. And I was like, we're all pretty used to it by now. We know that things are changing all the time. Things are different, things are changing. And I walked in, it was like, what's going on here? I'm thinking, what is going on here? And that was the end of the dream. So, and it was so short and so quick, and I just kind of like, I remembered it, but I just didn't give it a lot of thought. Well, about 3 days ago, I had the same dream again. And this time, exact same thing. I'm walking into Cub, and there's the same setup to stop people from entering the store without like checking in with the people that are sitting there. And I don't know what they were looking for. I don't know if they were just letting a certain amount of people in the store at a time. I didn't know what it was. And in the second dream, they were the exact same until this point. Then this young girl comes rollerblading up to where the table was set up to block people coming in. And she was not sitting, but she roller skated up to that end of the table. She's a young girl. She's on her blades in the grocery store. And she just sits down like she's going to get ready to take off her rollerblades. And then I woke up. So now we know that God always repeats things, whether it's verses or dreams or whatever, God will repeat things to get our attention. So what I gathered from this so far is that there is going to be, and we know this, we've heard words about this, that there's going to be a food shortage. And we saw empty shelves when COVID first started, and then I think we still see things like if I go to Walgreens, there's empty sections. They don't refill like they used to. And so I feel like we're all seeing some of that, like they're not getting their products in as quickly or as timely as they used to for whatever reason. So we also know, we've heard about the food shortages and in various issues thereof, that we know that famine is part of the end time equation, and there's going to be a food shortage in whatever reason or way that comes to be. We know that it will be, So I prayed about it and I said, God, okay, I've had this dream twice now. Am I supposed to start stocking up food again? And let me tell you, I stocked up food, mostly canned food, because canned food are canned fruit, soups, beans, whatever, last 2 years. And so that's why I chose, the last time I had been watching a channel. We all watch several channels. And she was saying, stock up on food, stock up in your pantry. There were several people saying that. Well, I don't have a lot of room in my house to stock up a bunch of canned food items. So I share this in a past video, I got a couple of those big Tupperware bins from like Target or Walmart, and they have the covers, and they're quite big. I mean, you can't see how far apart my hands are, but they're like quite big. And so I had gotten those, and I had put in all kinds of canned stuff. I mean, I had so many canned soup and beans and fruit cocktail, and I love the little mandarin oranges, canned fruit, all that kind of stuff. And then I also bought like other things like coffee, and I bought the kind that you just pour the instant coffee where you pour the hot water over it, because I figured if we were out of electricity, sorry guys, but I can't live without my morning coffee. I seriously can't. And so I got a couple of things of Folgers, instant coffee. I got like crackers. I got big bags of almonds. I got a bunch of stuff. I had so much food. And this is my bedroom that I'm sitting in. My computer's here. My bed's right here. And I have an open area back here. And I had my 2 big bins of stuff that, to be honest with you, do I want them there? No. Now, if it's an emergency, I need to, we all stock up and do what we have to do for survival. But I had this food sitting here for the longest time, and I decided there's not a food shortage yet. My food is going to go bad. I want somebody to be able to eat this food before it goes bad, and it's not going to be me and my 2 kids. All this canned fruit and soup, and yeah, so I took it to a food shelf. So, and I had done this stock up like a year ago. Well, actually now, because I gave it to the food shelf probably 3 months ago, so it was like a year and a half ago. And I was just like, all of this food is not going to go bad. There's a lot of food here, a lot of money in food here. So I prayed about it, and I said, God, I don't want to do that again if it's just going to sit. I heeded the warnings. I was listening. I'm paying attention. But now you've given me 2 dreams. Suddenly, the grocery store is different. Suddenly, there's a block, and there's, like some kind of like table set up, and you had to check in before you could go into the store. And I'm like, the V comes to mind when we're thinking of that, the Vax passport. I don't know. So, but God didn't say that. That wasn't in the dream, but that's, of course, everyone, or at least my first thought is that, the Vax passport. So, and then food shortage. So we know that these things are up ahead. And so I prayed about it, and I just said, God, I don't want to buy all that stuff again, just to have it sit here in these big bins in my room for nothing. So that's where I left it. I wanted to share with you the dreams, and I wanted to share with you my journey regarding food. Most people that did stock up their pantry never mentioned all of this food sitting there for so long and what they did with it. Now I'm telling you, I stocked up thinking that was the right thing to do, and I ended up giving it all to a food shelf. So the part regarding the roller skates, what does that say to you? When I think of that young girl, and just on her blades, seemed to be in a good mood, blading in the grocery store, which is odd. What is the message to that? What I see in that is that she's carefree, having fun, coming to work, sat in the chair. I didn't dream to the point where I saw her taking off her rollerblades, but she sat in the chair, and I assumed she was going to take her rollerblades off. Like she was just carefree and coming to work, and it's no big deal, because the younger generation doesn't see the dramatic changes that those of us that are older see. Things have changed so much already. So that's what I see in it, but you can share with me what you think that little piece of it was. God doesn't do things, He does everything intentionally and with purpose. So it's like, okay, God, you put that in the dream for a reason. What did that mean? But I haven't gotten a word on it yet. So again, whether it's famine or Vax passport or what it is, I don't know. But I don't typically have 2 dreams in a row. That one was like identical except for her skating up. The other 2 dreams I had were me in my Kia, my little teeny car that gets good gas mileage. I'm driving that instead of putting miles on my van. My Kia dreams. When I was driving my little Kia, and suddenly snow fell on the windshield, and I was on a T in the road. And the snow fell, and I had no visibility. And I was heading towards traffic going from the left to the right. And I was in danger. So suddenly I couldn't see, and what was I going to do? I didn't know where to steer. And again, these dreams are like 20 seconds long. They're so quick. Then I had my second dream in the Kia, and I live in Minnesota. We are used to foggy windshields here, especially in the winter. And my windshield started to fog up. Now, when our windshields fog up here, sorry, I got like a little hair or something driving me, like a little gray here. Our windshields will fog up because of our warm breath, the cold air outside, all that kind of stuff. Cold windshield in the winter. But we can crack a window, we put on the defrost, we adjust the air so that it doesn't fog up because we lose visibility. Well, in my second dream in the Kia, I saw it fogging up, which it never, ever, no windshield fogs up this fast. And it went from the bottom, and then it was like, I just watched it in the dream go up, and I lost visibility again. It was the same thing in the both car dreams, that suddenly I lost visibility and I was scared of what was going to happen. I couldn't see. So I had those two dreams and now these two grocery store dreams. And I want to share them with you. And perhaps you understand what they mean. I'm not going to go out and buy groceries yet till I hear from God, because I've done that already and prepared already. And I've prepared in other ways that I'm not going to share in this video. Well, I'll share super quickly. I also prepared heat. I went and bought a kerosene heater, and because we were supposed to have a severe winter, not this past year, but the year before. So I'm trying to watch these people that claim that they get words from God. I went and bought gallons, like 10 to 15 gallons of kerosene for this kerosene heater, because our winters are so cold in Minnesota. And I was like, I have to be able to heat one room. So I had food for whatever was going to happen, whether it was the winter thing or just famine, or I wasn't worried about the Vax passport back then. That's a newer thing. That's due to COVID. So I'm not quite sure, but I just want to share, because the Lord gives me these for a reason. And I'm going to continue to pray about it. And with the heating, they took, thank heaven, I lived by a Lowe's, and I kept my receipt. They took the whole thing back. It was $400 and some for the kerosene, big kerosene heater. And these bottles, I don't remember if they were 2 gallons or how much kerosene was in them. It was like, ugh. So, yeah, to be honest with you, I don't mean to be negative. I was a little over it. It's like, okay. So, but now I had a dream, suddenlies. The message is suddenly, something's different. In both sets of dreams, suddenly, something's different. So that, the suddenly part is definitely clear. I'm just praying about the rest of it and want to share it with you. So this got a little bit longer than I thought. Everything stirs up, a little everything else, doesn't it? So anyway, just want to share that much with you. And I will probably do a video this coming weekend. Have a wonderful week, family of God. We are blessed. The Lord is with us. And we know pretty much everything in part. God knows in full. So we know the one who knows. And he is a good shepherd. He watches out for us. So have a good week, and I will see you soon.